Today we have Thomas James of hempusa.org, all about hemp. And I just want to go ahead and get started right away and want to introduce Thomas James of hempusa.org. And from everything I know about Thomas and talking to him numerous times, he has a lot to share. It's very exciting information, a lot more than most of us thought. And I just want to, start it right off with saying that one of the things that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering about is that I understand that hemp cannot be grown in the United States, and I'm wondering about that because hemp is sold in the United States. So what gives with that?
Yeah, it's not allowed to be grown. Matter of fact, every seed that comes over the border from Canada has to be sterilized. And we have a different process, and this is the reason why our hemp seeds sell so well, because they taste so well. They're not sterilized. What we do is a process which is a low-heat toasting process of the seeds to bring out the flavor, to make them easier to chew, and to make them non-viable, which means they cannot sprout into a seed and produce another plant. And they don't want it to produce another plant because basically when it comes right down to is they don't want you healthy. And they just don't want this incredible food plant growing freely in people's backyards. They don't want them in the production line in agricultural farming. They just don't want it here. We're the only nation that really is not allowed to grow it, the only industrialized nation. There's 27 countries that grow it around the world freely, but the United States is not allowed to grow this food.
That's kind of crazy. It really is. I mean, I understand that, of course, clothing and foods and even the Constitution, right?
Yeah, everything was written on it. Constitution, Declaration of Independence, the first Levi jeans, the first American flag. You have all these. You have the Encyclopedia Britannica for the last 150 years was made out of hemp paper. I mean, this paper does not yellow. It stays white. It's supple. It's bendable. It was an acid-free paper. It was a plant that could make over 100,000 different things, and it was very threatening to the powers that be to give up their profits from the petrochemical industry. They just didn't want it. They didn't want to share anything with the people.
Well, it sounds like that they've tried to fasten the stigma of the drug hysteria onto hemp, so that it would seem to be one and the same, so they could competition to the established order of what was. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah. Basically, they really don't want to share a natural product that will not pollute, that will grow in 90 to 120 days, where you wouldn't even have to cut down another tree. I mean, the forests in the world would be producing fresh oxygen. You'd never have to cut down another tree because the herd inside the stalk can be used for building products. And you can name 1,000 different items you can make for it, pennies on a dollar versus a petrochemical way. So, yeah, they just did not want to give the natural way to the people. They wanted to keep everybody in bondage to the oil industry, the edible oil industry, just you name every industry it would affect, Earl, every single industry, if this hemp plant was allowed to grow in America.
Wow, that's really something. I understand.
So basically, I get excited about at least I can bring a food to the American people. And actually, we're shipping to every country in the world now. We're shipping to a lot of soldiers that are coming back from Iraq, from Gulf. They're just so impressed with a lot of the products that they're making it a normal daily food source for themselves and their families.
Well, I'm wondering, are there some real green aspects of hemp? Maybe tell us some of that.
Yeah, I hear something in the background. I think I hear some people talking. I don't know. Is everybody muted?
Yeah, everybody's muted. Let me take care of that. Hold on a second. I'm going to shut it. Oh, go ahead and tell us a little bit about the green.
Yeah, that was your question. It was how green is it? Well, I'll tell you this about the crop. For the farmers, it hurt the farmers the most in America when they took this plant away from them, because it was the best, the most incredible rotational crop of any plant known to man. It was the most incredible rotational crop. And what happens is it has a very deep rooting system with tap roots, and it would go deep into the earth and allow incredible minerals to come to the surface for the following crops. So the harvest would be greater, and food would be more nutritious. Things would be sweeter, tastier, better color because of the hemp plant. And also the hemp plant would stop erosion around the country. We have a tremendous amount of erosion with our lands. It's because the hemp plant isn't growing freely like it was 100 years ago. You know? It's just that they've removed it, and it's just so annoying that we allowed it to happen. How can we allow the few to control the many? I still cannot answer that. It's just shocking. So this plant has so many attributes. I can't think of one negative thing about this plant that wouldn't bless the people of this country. I couldn't think of one negative. There's not even in any medical journal, any known allergy to hemp. Did you know that?
Wow.
There's not one allergy known to hemp around the world. And it's the only plant in the world out of 3 million edible food plants, or even non-food plants, that you can tell if it's male or female by looking at it. It's gender by looking at it. You have to go into the DNA of every other plant to find a gender. And it's monoecious and dioecious. It's male-female or female. So it's quite an amazing plant. It's self-pollinating. It doesn't need a bee to grow, to pollinate. So it's a plant that is very sustaining for life, very nutritious. It contains all digestive enzymes. It contains all essential fatty acids, all minerals, and all amino acids, all 22. So it's when you put it in your body, it will raise the frequency of your body. Now, I'm talking about our hemp because of our process methods. We have 25 proprietary processing methods that are unlike any other hemp available in America, and that's the reason we sell the amount of hemp we do on a daily basis. It's because it's in a different arena. We have more oil. We have a processing of filtering out a lot of the fiber. We sift it, and we raise the protein content of the powders. And we have more oil because we leave more oil in the seed when we press it, so we create cake powders instead of flours. Most of the flours and the hemps available on the shelves today are flours. They're not cake powders. Ours is a cake powder. You'll see it, how it mixes in waters and liquids, and how it tastes and what it does for the body.
We're talking about a really good, high-grade product. Then it sounds like what you've done is gone to great lengths to make sure that it is of the best quality.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only that, it's the cultivar. It's where it's coming from. It's where it's grown. It's grown in a very deep, dark, rich soil in northern Canada, and actually we're dealing with 9 provinces right now. And we use a very specific cultivar. We have very specific processes. And we get out of each plant anywhere from 200 to 1,000 seeds. And we rotate the crop every 3 years off of that farm and put it on another. So we give the ground time to gain back its nutritional value so the hemp can draw from it again. Because the hemp plants take a tremendous amount of nutrition, tremendous amount out of the soil. And you just got to watch what you read, because people say, it'll grow anywhere. Well, it's got to be able to produce a seed that has high protein content. You know, you have to have a very high Brix value. And if you're not getting that, that's like eating a lot of everything and getting no nutrition, like the American food supply right now. You know, people are gaining weight because there's no nutrition in it. You're just filling their body with things. There's no nutrition. So you want a high nutritious seed, and that's what we give the American people.